Alright, so welcome back to part 2 of the Mihile guide. I've taken a break for about a week, so the servers were just so unreal in terms of DCs, and just the server lag is just miserable experience for me. I had like a 20% chance to even enter the game, and I'd DC like 3 seconds after anyway, so yeah. But anyways, we're back, and ready to do part 2, right? So, I think in this video we'll take a look at Mihile's skill rotations as well as the 5th job skills, and then I think at the end we'll kind of bring it all together by doing a live commentary boss fight, probably Cvell, but yeah, it's gonna be miserable for me. I haven't done Cvell in like weeks, but if you guys can take something from it, then it'll be worth it, right? So we'll start with Mihile's attack skill rotations. This is the rotation that I use to open up on the boss. It's Sword of Light, Charging Light, followed by Radiant Cross, Phalanx Charge. And basically I just spam 4-point Assault while upkeeping everything else. It's a very, very simple rotation. The way I like to think about it is kind of like a 1-2-3-4 rotation. Like 1-2 is kind of like your debuff combo, like a 1-2 punch. And then 3-4 is like your summon and turret combo. So 1-2 again, Sword of Light, Charging Light, 3-4, Radiant Cross, Phalanx Charge when it gets off cooldown, and then just spam 4-point Assault for the win, right? So, what's the reason for this rotation, the order of the skills? Well, Sword of Light has a 100% chance to put a blind on the target. So, Sword of Light is the blind initiator, and blind is really important for Mihile. It gives 25% final damage as well as 20% crit rate if Mihiles are hitting a blinded target, right? So you want to get that up as soon as possible. Then we follow it up with Charging Light, which is a big attack. It's like 600% damage, 10 lines. So with such a big attack, you want to follow it. You want to get that 25% extra damage on that attack, as well as put the second debuff. So it puts a 10% normal damage debuff, which is very minor for you and your party. So it works for your party, but it's a very minor debuff. I used to open up with Charging Light as my opener, but not anymore because, Charging Light itself doesn't put a blind on the target, and again, you're missing out on that 25% final damage. So, yeah, that's the 1-2 combo, Sword of Light, Charging Light. 3-4 is kind of a no-brainer, just the slow and steady summon and turret combo. Radiant Cross is the turret, Phalanx Charge is the summon. You can kind of summon these in any order you want, and you can also summon them preemptively if you know where a boss is going to be. Like if you know a Cvell tail is going to appear in this location, you can kind of prep them in advance, and then when the tail does appear, then you just initiate with the 1-2 and spam 4 points. So it's a very, very flexible, simple rotation for Mihile. And once the fight goes underway, and you're kind of halfway through the fight, you can take out Sword of Light out of the rotation, because once the boss is blinded, you won't need to keep re-blinding him, right? Hopefully. Because your normal attacks will just keep blinding him. If he does disappear off the map, like if Cvell disappears off the map for a bit and then comes back, then you can reinitiate with the blind, because by then maybe the blind will be off. The duration will be out, right? So, very, very simple. I think next we'll talk about the 5th job skills. Just kind of get in-depth into what they do and how we can use them. So, yeah, stay tuned for that. I'll be right back. Alright, so the first skill we'll look at will be Shield of Light. It's the first 5th job skill we got in the V update. Now, this skill, yes, it has a wall of text, but essentially what it does is it gives you 41 shield charges, so you can block 41 attacks for 40 seconds, right? And each charge of the shield can block 78% of the damage, and that includes 1-hit KO. So if you take a 1-hit KO, you will take only 22% of the damage. So theoretically, this skill can block 41 1-hit KOs, right? Although you don't want to, because the reason why is because when the skill runs out or you manually turn it off, you get 5% final damage in its base, plus 1% final damage per shield charge that you have left, right? So, say you have 41 charges, and you take 10 hits with it, you got 31 charges left, you will get 31% final damage. Now, I believe this skill does have a cap. It doesn't actually give you 41% final damage if you just turn it on and off. It caps at a certain number, but I'm not sure what that number is. We'll just test it right now. So we've got 26% final damage. If I turn it on and off, it went to 58. So it actually caps at 32% final damage. That's the max this skill can give you, which kind of sucks, but it's pretty good. So the thing with this skill is that because of the way it works, and because it caps at 32% final damage, and it has 41 charges, that means you can block 9 attacks without compromising your damage, right? Because the first 9 attacks, say you waste 9 charges of the shield, and then you turn it off, you're still going to get the same amount as if you turned it on and off, right? But a lot of times for convenience, I just turn it on and off, just to get the damage fast, right? So the big question is, how do you use this skill? Do you use this skill offensively or defensively? Well, it's on cooldown right now, but I'll show you how to use it defensively once it's off cooldown. But I recommend you use it offensively, because 31% final damage is just way too much final damage. You need the damage, right? Especially in bosses like Lotus and Damien. Very damage intensive. You need that extra damage. And defense isn't going to help you in Damien, right? Most of the time, it's not about defense. It's just about if you can DPS him down in time. So I recommend that. I mean, you can use it defensively, but I've been trying not to. I've been trying to just turn this skill on and off, get the damage quick. So we'll cut back when the skill's back on cooldown, back off cooldown, and we'll show you how it works in defensive situations. So yeah, I'll see you then. Alright, so the skill's back off cooldown, and we're just going to test it out in Chaos Queen. And just to see some interesting things about it, we'll bring out the stats as well. So I'm going to turn it on. Queen's probably going to burn me. Yep, the annoying ass burn. And she's going to hit me. So as you can see, each attack does take off 1 shield charge, but it also does block the breath. So one thing you'll notice is that I did take damage from the breath, only 22% of my total damage, and it did actually remove the burn because I took the damage. So it's different from a guard. A guard would actually not remove the burn because I don't even take it doesn't connect with me. So this breath should remove the burn, which is really cool. So another thing about this skill is that that's pretty interesting, is that it has no interaction whatsoever with Royal Guard. So Shield of Light does not interact with Royal Guard at all, unlike Night's Watch, right? Because Night's Watch, when you turn it on, it actually guarantees your guard sometimes. Whereas, if I press Royal Guard while Shield of Light is active, it's not going to help me guard at all. For some reason, it just doesn't work like that. And I flipping died, but whatever. So, I think that illustrates my point. And I did get some final damage. So, I think I got 11% final damage. I'm not sure how that works. I mean, I guess when the shield ended, I must have had like 6 charges left or something like that. So I got 5% plus the 6% from each charge of the shield. A bit confusing, but yeah. So that's how to use this skill defensively. Just turn it on, walk around. You're basically invincible. And another thing about this skill is that when it's turned on, you cannot double jump. That's a really big thing. You can't use double jump while Shield of Light is on. So yeah. We'll get out of Queen now. And I think that's all for Shield of Light. We'll move on to Sword of Light next. We'll just talk a bit about that. So, yeah. Alright, so we are back in Dark World Tree. We're just going to show off Sword of Light. Just take a look at it for a bit. So, how does this skill work? Well, it does an AoE attack. Depending on the amount of Royal Guard stacks you have, that is the yellow shield buff in the top right corner. But it has a secondary effect. So, I talked about the blind secondary effect that it has, but it also refreshes that it also refreshes Royal Guard's buff, by 6 seconds. Now, this actually got nerfed in the tune-up update. It wasn't always 6 seconds. It used to just refresh Royal Guard's buff completely, right? So, pretty broken. Probably gonna lose my stacks here. Nope. So this was pretty broken, and the reason why it was because you could kind of go infinite with Sword of Light. And what do I mean by that? I mean, once you reach 5 stacks of Royal Guard, the duration of the Royal Guard buff was longer than the cooldown of this skill. And because it refreshed the buff completely, you could just infinitely kind of refresh it, right? And you never even had to Royal Guard ever again while farming. You just spam this skill every 12 seconds, and yeah, you just keep up 5 stacks. So it was super broken. Not sure how I feel about the nerf. 6 seconds is pretty bad, but it's still usable for mobbing. So it's still a great mobbing skill, right? As you can see. Now the range of this skill is literally like a sword, and I'll demonstrate it now if I can. So as you can see, it didn't hit the guys on the far left and far right. It has a huge vertical range, but a kind of short horizontal range. So that's what I mean by it's like literally, if you picture a sword on the screen upright, that's basically the range of this skill. So it's very good for farming on vertical maps, but not so great on just flat horizontal maps. You know, pretty lousy in that regard. So now, another interesting thing about this skill is that the damage is not that great until you hit 5 stacks of Royal Guard. So I'll just show you the damage right now. Currently at level 7, it is like just pitiful, right? If you look at damage, it's 448% at 0 and 1 stacks. If I did a damage test, and that's literally half the damage of just one attack of 4-point assault. So if you're going to use it for damage, you know, I say it again, but you have to max this skill out. You know, the damage really is terrible if it's not maxed out. So I think that's all we'll talk about with Sword of Light. You know, I mean, I will show you how I use this skill. Yeah, during a boss fight, probably Cvell. So I think we'll get to that next. Be prepared for a Cvell fight. It's gonna be awful. I can already tell. I mean, don't expect the large sword in a Cvell fight. The one I'm doing now. I just won't get to 5 stacks, most likely. Yeah. Okay, so it is time for Cvell. It's gonna be a bit difficult, but I will try and commentate throughout the fight, just to say what I'm doing. So the point of this fight will just be to showcase the skills, kind of like a live showcase. Not sure how it's gonna go, but I'll try my best. I do have buff freezes, but like I haven't done Cvell in ages. So first things first is single target, make sure that's on. Probably want to refresh this, and we'll do this. Alright, so I'm going to turn on Night's Watch, as well as turn this off for damage. Gonna bind here, if I can. Alright, so the 1-2 combo, 3-4, and then we're just gonna DPS. Alright, that went alright. Tried to guard that, but I'm way too rusty with Royal Guard. Okay. Just gonna dodge out of the way here. Again, dodge. Oh god. Alright. So we're gonna activate Sacred Cube, just so I can guard here. That was pretty clutch. Oh, I missed my... Alright. Oh, this is going so poorly. Alright, that's good. Alright, so we're at 3 stacks of Royal Guard. I still don't want to use Sword of Light for damage. Just gonna use it for the blind. Oh god, I keep missing my charging light. That's alright though. Let me dodge out of the way here. Playing really badly, but whatever. Oh, okay, playing really badly. I should not have pressed that. Oh well, we got one buff freezer, so we'll be fine. When you respawn, it's probably a good idea to explain. You do need to turn on Soul Link again. It really sucks that buff freezers do not save it. Oh god, I can't see what's on the ground. Oh god. And I lost my phalanx, it just kind of went off to the side. Holy shit. Just casually deeping this in here. When the green stuff spawns, I can barely see anything, so I'm just going to take the time to buff. Going to take this slowly, not going to try and rush the fight. Because I don't want to die and use any more buff freezers. We'll try and guard this. Okay, we failed. Missed that for like the millionth time. Don't know how. Alright. Oh god. That was close. You do have to try and time it when he goes under. Really bad at that. So just gonna do the 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Pretty simple stuff. Just try not to die. God. Okay, there we go. And then we just keep it. So Soul Asylum will kind of protect me. Oh god. Not against the breath though. It's to the right. Hopefully that we don't get dicked by the rocks. Oh, we got hit. No. Alright, it's all good. We survived. Alright, so one thing I need to do is watch for the bind cooldown, because once that up, Cvell's pretty much dead. Oh, I can't see anything on the ground. Bloody hell. Let's try a rebuff here. Alright, we're gonna do the 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Just whenever I reinitiate, that's what I do. Oh, I got stunned. No. I'm gonna get out of the green for now and activate this. This will help me guard. Not unless he's taking a breath. In line. Alright. I probably should have used charging light. Use it here. Get it off cooldown. Probably should guard something. Oh my gosh. I thought I was gonna fail that. Cvell's almost dead, but somehow I'm alive. Alright, so 40 seconds for the bind. Just read through this. Oh, and also, I forgot to. I always forget, but my 5th job is on. Just gonna turn it on and off for damage. Alright, and Cvell should be dead pretty soon. Alright, we did it. Successful Cvell. Hopefully you guys can kind of see what I was talking about. But, I don't know, I didn't play that well. Kind of a rough fight. But only 1 death, so yeah. Alright, so anyways, thanks for watching. Hope you guys found this useful. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time.